Welcome to today's episode, where we delve into one of the most pressing international developments currently shaping global affairs. The announcement by President Trump to indefinitely extend the ceasefire with Iran marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing U.S. Iran tensions. This move is not just a temporary respite from potential conflict, but a critical juncture that could steer the course of Middle Eastern geopolitics and influence global economic stability. Understanding the complexities and stakes of this decision requires a nuanced exploration of the events leading up to it and its broader implications. The indefinite extension of the ceasefire arrives amidst heightened tensions following recent Iranian missile and drone strikes on Jordan. These events underscored the volatility of the region and the intricate web of alliances and hostilities that define it. Iran's aggressive actions, particularly the attacks in the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz, disrupted global shipping lanes that are crucial for oil transit, sending ripples through international markets. It's against this backdrop of escalating conflict that President Trump has opted for a diplomatic overture, hinging the ceasefire's continuation on Tehran, submitting a formal proposal in the ongoing U.S. Iran talks. This diplomatic maneuver reflects a significant shift from Trump's earlier rhetoric, which threatened severe military action against Iran. The fact that the president is choosing to explore a diplomatic route, despite the presence of thousands of American troops in the region, speaks volumes about the potential window for diplomacy. It signals a willingness to engage Iran in dialogue, with the hope that the country's latest proposal, though demanding, offers a foundation for negotiation. The proposal from Iran, delivered through Pakistani intermediaries, outlines 10 key demands, including the resolution of regional conflicts, lifting of U.S. sanctions, and protocols to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. These demands, while steep, represent Iran's stance on the conditions necessary for peace. The implications of this ceasefire and the ongoing negotiations are profound. On one hand, a successful diplomatic resolution has the potential to avert a broader Middle Eastern conflict that could involve major powers across the globe. This would stabilize energy markets, calmed after the disruptions caused by the Hormuz attacks, and potentially reshape U.S. foreign policy as President Trump enters his second term. On the other hand, the failure of talks could exacerbate regional tensions, leading to renewed hostilities that might drag in allies like Jordan and lead to further destabilization. The ripple effects of this scenario extend beyond the geopolitical sphere. Economically, a resolution could ease the burden of sanctions on global trade, enhancing market stability and potentially averting spikes in oil prices and global inflation. However, the reverse could precipitate significant economic strain, affecting everything from energy costs to supply chains. Domestically, the situation adds fuel to the already heated debates over war powers, with Congress contemplating measures to limit presidential authority in military engagements. This situation tests the U.S.'s internal political dynamics as much as its foreign policy strategies. There's also a critical human element to consider. The stakes are not just about political maneuvering, they entail real consequences for millions of people in the region and beyond. The potential for peace could bring relief and the possibility of rebuilding to those affected by the conflict. Conversely, a breakdown in negotiations could mean further hardship, displacement, and suffering. In the midst of these developments, it's important to acknowledge the internal pressures within the Trump administration. Recent high-profile departures, including Navy Secretary John Phelan and Attorney General Pam Bondi, alongside resignations like that of Army Chief of Staff General Randy George, highlight the strains of managing such a multifaceted crisis. These shifts suggest a balancing act between hawkish impulses and diplomatic negotiation, as the administration grapples with both external and internal challenges. As we look to the future, the outcome of these negotiations could have far-reaching implications. A successful deal might bolster Trump's legacy as a peacemaker, allowing a shift in focus back to domestic priorities. However, rejection by Iran might trigger renewed strikes, regional escalation, or even broader involvement from other actors, destabilizing the region further. Ultimately, this situation is a litmus test for the viability of multilateral diplomacy and international collaboration. For global markets, it holds significant sway over energy costs and economic stability. Domestically, it will continue to shape partisan divides and debates over executive power. Internationally, It could redefine alliances that have been strained by prolonged conflict. As we await the outcomes of these critical talks, the world remains on edge, watching closely to see whether this pivotal moment will lead to enduring peace or further unrest. Thank you for joining us today as we unpack these complex issues. We look forward to bringing you more insights in our next episode.